Hello. In this lecture we will see the design of rectangular microstrip antenna. Now the rectangular microstrip antenna has a rectangular shape over here. The length of the patch is given as L and the width of the patch is denoted as W. So this is a rectangular patch which is made up of copper on a substrate having thickness is equal to H. So we'll be designing this RMSA. So we'll be calculating the length and the width of the patch, the length and the width of the ground plane, and the feed position. So feed position is selected along the x-axis so that it can, for this given patch, it will excite the TM10 dominant mode. Now we'll be using the probe feeding technique over here to feed the antenna. So the inner conductor of the SMA connector is soldered to the upper patch and the outer body of the SMA connector is connected to the ground plane. So this is your ground plane. This one is also a ground plane in top view. This is the geometry of the patch in the side view. So we'll see the designing of this one. So we have very famous equations of the RMSA design, and we will be designing the RMSA for frequency, center frequency is equal to 2 GHz on a FR4 substrate. When you say FR4 substrate, you have dielectric constant epsilon r is equal to 4.3 and tan delta, that is the loss tangent, is 0.02. The height of the substrate is taken as 1.6 mm. Okay, so we'll see the equations and we'll proceed for the designing. So these are the equations of the RMSA. So we'll be calculating the width first from the center frequency or resonant frequency epsilon r. So we will be calculating W. Here the 150 is written over here. So if you are substituting 150 over here and frequency is gigahertz, you will get width in directly in mm. Then we will be calculating effective dielectric constant by substituting W over here. Once you get effective dielectric constant, you will be calculating the effective length. Then the fringing field has to be taken into account. So we will be calculating the fringing field length delta L as H divided by square root of epsilon E. If you are substituting H in the mm, you will get natural delta L in also in mm. Then we will be calculating the physical length. So it is LE minus 2 delta L because the fringing is taking place from both the ends. So we have to subtract the delta L twice. Then what we'll do, we'll calculate again the width of the patch as 1.2 L. Once you get this width, we'll substitute this width over in this formula and we'll be calculating new epsilon effective. Now the epsilon effective that we have calculated in the previous step and in the next step, after substitution of this W, we'll check the difference between these two epsilon effective, and if it is less than 1%, then we'll stop at that point. Otherwise we have to again go for the next iteration of this process. So we'll see the calculation and the designing of this part. Later on we'll also implement this thing in CST software. So we have F0 is equal to 2 GHz, FR4 substrate, epsilon r 4.3, tan delta 0.02 and H is equal to 1.6. So when I calculate W using this formula, so we'll see few calculations. So it will be 150 divided by, now F is in gigahertz, so just I will be substituting 2 divided by the epsilon r plus 1, so it will be 5.3 divided by 2 and we'll be getting this answer. So it is coming around to be 46.07 mm. So writing over here iteration 1 46.07 mm. So we'll be substituting this 46.07 mm over here and we'll calculate epsilon E. So it turns out to be, after calculation you can check, this turns out to be 4.0715. Now we'll substitute this epsilon effective, that is effective dielectric constant, and we will be calculating the effective length. So that turns out to be 37.17 mm. And further we will calculate delta L by substituting this h, that is 1.6 mm, and dividing by square root of this one. So it turns out to be 0.7929 mm. So L turns out to be 37.17 minus twice of this one, so it turns out to be 35.58. So we will calculate in W as 1.2 times this one, so it turns out to be 42.7 mm. Now we will substitute this 42.7 mm over here, and we will calculate new epsilon effective. So once you substitute this 42.7, giving epsilon r as 4.3 and h is equal to 1.6, we will get epsilon effective as 4.05727. So we will calculate the difference between these two. So the difference turns out to be 0.01423. So this is approximately 1.4%. So we have to again calculate the new parameters of this rectangular microstrip antenna. So using this epsilon effective, now we will be calculating the new parameters. So in that case, LE turns out to be, after substituting this thing over here, LE turns out to be 37.23 mm. Delta L turns out to be 0.7943. L turns out to be 35.64, and the W turns out to be 42.76 mm. Now we will calculate the epsilon effective again by substituting W as 42.76 mm over here. So in this process, the epsilon effective turns out to be 4.0575. And now we'll calculate the difference between these two, and it turns out to be 2.3 into 10 to the power minus 4. So we can stop our iteration, and value of L and W are noted over here. See here, the difference between epsilon, the mod of epsilon effective and epsilon effective new should be less than 1%. So now LG will be turning out to be 35.64 plus 6 times 1.6. So it turns out to be 45.24 mm, and this turns out to be, W turns out to be 42.76 plus 6 into 1.6 mm. So this turns out to be 52.36 mm. So we will be using this parameter to design the rectangular microstrip antenna in CST. Now before proceeding for the CST, just a few points to be remembered. So this is the substrate, FR4 substrate. So it has a copper on both the sides, and you can see the thickness, it's quite small, it is around 1.6 mm. So this is actually the substrate, and on the both sides you have a copper. The copper thickness is 35 micrometer, so it is 0.035 mm. So we have to consider this thing while designing the thing. So we'll be designing a patch on this side, and we will have another ground plane over here, and then we'll be etching the part of the copper over here. Now we have different types of substrate also. You have Arlon substrate, you have Rogers substrate. So the parameters are different for the different substrate. Here I am showing this FR4 substrate over here, Now another thing is the connector use, that is the probe fitting technique use. Now there are two types of connector generally used at a microwave frequency. One is SMA connector and another one is your N type connector. Now this is your SMA type of connector. The full form is sub miniature version A. So this is the center conductor. Now this is particularly this SMA conductor has quite long center conductor, and the outer body, this outer body is ground, you have to ground it, and in between the inner conductor and the center conductor there is a dielectric material, Teflon, or it is also known as PTFE, having epsilon r is equal to 2.1. Now the inner conductor diameter is 1.3 mm, while the outer conductor diameter is 4.353 mm. Okay, so we have to consider this thing into for the design purpose. So once the patch is each on one of the side, we'll be drilling the hole at the appropriate position, and we'll be soldering the inner conductor to the upper patch, while the outer body will be soldered to the ground plane. So after this we will proceed for the CST implementation of this microstrip antenna.